Hey up. Right, we're almost there, the 100,000 subscribers for this channel, which it's taking its time coming, but having said that, it's sort of crept up on me over the last few months because, I've been concentrating on other things. Now, I will of course be putting out a special 100,000 subscribers video, as is traditional here on YouTube, but in this video, because we're so close, we're almost there, less than 100 subscribers required, what I wanted to do was offer a bit of recognition to the brands that have helped me out over the years. In the 6 years that I've been running this channel, I've watched trends gradually change over the years. Back when I started up, it was very much reviews that brought in the the views on videos. Reviews of motorcycle accessories, new and old. And certainly for the first 3 or 4 years of this channel, they were my bread and butter. That was what kept this channel afloat. I think things have subtly shifted now. And although product reviews are still a very relevant part of this channel, I've had to mix up the content a little bit in recent years, which has paid dividends. But I am a loyal person, and I will never forget those brands that helped me get a foothold, if you like, on the YouTube ladder. And I've selected 5 brands that I think have been the most influential motorcycle accessory brands for this channel. Now, when I first started up, I used to write about 50 emails a week to various different companies that I thought, might be able to help me out with review products, because buying them yourself, I soon realised it was going to bankrupt me. But the channel wasn't big enough in those days for me to, attract propositions from companies that thought I might be interested in this product or that product. Even today, I can never really predict what is going to happen with the views of a video reviewing, certain products. Sometimes that review will get really good views, other times they fall flat on the face. And in that respect, some of these brands sort of came and went. They would say, yeah, okay, we'll let you test this out, and I'd do a review and it would go okay, so they'd give me something else, and then it would fall flat on its face and I would never hear from them again. But there are a select few brands that, even when the views are not that brilliant, they're still willing to continue working with me. And those are the brands that I want to include in today's video. It's been a hit and miss relationship on their part. But these particular companies, instead of sort of scurrying off into the woodwork and not returning my emails when the last video didn't get tens of thousands of views like they were expecting, they continued working with me. And in fact, they still work alongside me today. And so this video is just my way of saying thank you to those companies and bringing them to your attention again. And what I'm going to do is run these 5 companies in the order that, we first started working together. Starting off with Lerma Water Sports. Now, I think I actually started working with Lerma probably in the first 2 or 3 months of this channel's existence. Lerma already had a good reputation as a company that made dry bags for canoeists, etc. But the bags were incredibly useful for motorcycling as well, and they'd gained a bit of a cult following from bikers, which prompted them to bring out a whole range of motorcycle-specific luggage. Robust, affordable motorcycle luggage that is built to maritime standards. Admittedly, it is some time since I actually worked with Lerma, although they did supply me with all the luggage that I need for the Mule's Day Out year before last. And I always get a Christmas card from them at Christmas. They gave me a chance right at the beginning when no one else would entertain me, and I'll always be grateful for that. Moving on. Again, it was in about the first 6 months of this channel's life that I contacted Moton, actually about a part that I wanted to buy. I I think I only had 500 subscribers at the time. And I can't actually remember what the part was now, and as it turned out, it wasn't compatible, but I asked them to contact me about it. Now, I actually contacted them as a potential customer. I never made any mention of the channel or what I was doing. And the following day, I got a call from Sam at Motone about this part. He gave me the information that I required, and then he asked me if I was that guy that ran the motorcycle channel. Now, myself and Sam actually became very good friends, and I think it was probably another 6 months before, between the two of us, we decided that I would start reviewing some of their products. A relationship which has proved to be probably the most prolific relationship on this channel. I've done more Motone videos than anything else. And it's a prime example of how, a relationship with a company has actually instigated a very good friendship, because I do consider Sam, as well as some of the others that I'm going to talk about, as being close friends. And one of the best bits about working with Motone is that, of course, I've also been able to assist in the development of some of the parts with prototype testing and that kind of thing. Something that I never dreamed I would be able to do 6 or 7 years ago. Sam has been very generous towards viewers of this channel for about the last 3 years. I think it started off during the pandemic, when he thought it might be a good idea to award this channel a discount code so that viewers could buy the parts a little bit cheaper during the days of the pandemic and customise their bikes just a little bit cheaper. Something that is continued to do even up until today, and I will leave the current 12% discount code in the video description down below, along with a link to Motone's website. In fact, I'll leave links to the websites of all the companies that I'm discussing today. Now, there's no way I could compile a list like this without including Trip Machine. I got an email from Siddhartha, the owner of Trip Machine, about 4 years ago now. I mean, time has really flown. Asking me if I'd be interested in reviewing some of their luggage. Now, they were just small items to start with. Since then, Trip Machine's range of leather motorcycle luggage has just exploded, and with each new iteration, it's become more and more practical. Initially, I did see some of their items as a bit of a styling exercise where, form sort of overruled function, but things have really changed with Trip Machine. Sid himself, again, he's become a good friend of mine. We talk quite a lot by WhatsApp, and he's one of those guys that he's just the king of cool. He's a really nice, laid-back guy. A long-term motorcyclist, in fact, he's just bought a new Royal Enfield Super Meteor in green. And although his gear ain't cheap, it's some of the highest quality motorcycle luggage available. Again, I'll leave a link to his website in the video description down below. Now, I must apologise for the next one, because for some reason I don't seem to be able to find any footage from product reviews that I've done in the past, although I've done a lot of them. And that's Autobrite Direct. Now, Dale, my contact at Autobrite, was formerly, or presumably still is, a viewer of this channel, a motorcyclist himself, again. Autobrite Direct sell their own line of valeting products, polishes, dressings, that kind of thing. Mainly for the valeting trade for motor cars, but obviously a wax polish or whatever is just as suitable for motorcycle paintwork as it is for a motor car. And Dale asked me if I would be willing to review some of their products. Now, I do have a history in the automotive refinishing trade, and I was a bit sceptical. It was a name that I'd never really heard of. At the time, they dealt mainly with the trade. They weren't really into retail sales. But I eventually agreed to test some of their products, thinking that there would be a load of rubbish, and I was just so wrong. This company turns out some of the best quality automotive dressings, protectants and waxes on the market. And the great thing about them, like a lot of the long-termers that I work with, is there's absolutely no pressure. They send me products and they don't bother me about them at all. You know, I review them if I want to review them. If I don't want to review them, I don't. Because, you know, that's important with these sort of things, because you can't assess a wax polish by just putting it on and looking at it. You need weeks or months with that product to ascertain whether or not it's worth the money. Their products are. There are other manufacturers out there that produce stuff which is as good as theirs, but there's none that beat them. And finally, Hitchcocks Motorcycles is one of those names that anyone who is a Royal Enfield fan, going back right to the 1980s, I think, is well aware of them. They've been a big presence in Royal Enfield ownership for decades. Again, this was a relationship that started up totally by accident. I think I was buying an exhaust system for the Mule, and somebody twigged from my name who I was, and the relationship sort of started from there, which has resulted in me visiting their premises, their shop, looking around their warehouse and their research and development facilities. I don't mind saying that, you know, Royal Enfield ownership for me initially with this channel, it was a major financial hassle. And I did have some issues with the then importer of the parts that were making it difficult for me to actually obtain them. Hitchcocks are a really friendly, family-run business, and they came to my rescue, really. And as with all the others mentioned in this video, I will be eternally grateful for the help that they've given me. Getting your foot in the door with a YouTube channel, especially these days, is an immensely difficult task. Especially if you're just an average bloke like me that wants to sort of share my experience and entertain people, but I don't have any real talent or skill. The modest success of this channel so far has not just been down to me. It's also been, very importantly, down to the companies that have helped to support this channel, that have sort of put a bit of faith in me and provided me with the material that I need for content. Yes, it is a two-way street, you know, they get something out of it as well. But it's also a big risk for these companies when they get involved with a nobody on YouTube, which is what all of them did all those years ago. I got a lot of doors slammed in my face in the first 2 or 3 years of this channel. And if it wasn't for these companies, I wouldn't have got as far as I have. Right, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this and my other videos and helping to get this channel to where it is now. I really do appreciate it. I am, of course, going to be back on Friday. Whether I'll have the 100k then or not, I don't know. Only time will tell. But I'll see you on Friday anyway. Until then, please ride safely, and I'll see you soon.